issue with this? No. Okay. This is fine. A session will be uploaded. Okay. Okay. Anything else? I'm Mudasar. Aish is here. Okay. Okay. Deepan Sarkar, do we have to pay anything for the next session? Deepan, I'm not aware of what are the commercials behind it. You'll have to check it up at the class apart location only. Okay. And okay. We will be talking about Shashank. We will be discussing the difference in quant. The purpose of this session today is essentially to acquaint you with the kind of paper IIFT is, which you could have got even otherwise had you just gone through the paper. But more importantly, to help you understand how to attend the paper, which type of questions to attend, which ones not to attend, and so on and so forth. Okay? So as I said earlier, we will be starting. Okay. My voice, Kanika, I hope it is clear now. Unknown, others have not complained about the voice, so please check your speakers. There might be a small, it is possible that there might be an issue with it. Okay. 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 Great. So the idea is that we will go through the paper. We are not going to solve all the questions today. I will be solving a few questions. We will be discussing the dynamics of each of the sections separately, and I think it will take us about 2 hours or so. So those of you who have to go for a card party or those of you who have to go out for crackers, I think you can safely plan to leave by around 10, 10, 15, 10:30 is a definite time by which you can leave. So I'll break off now. We'll start at, it's 8:02 by my watch. We'll start at, yeah, I'm sure you can see my desktop, so that 8:02 is the time out here. And yeah, we will be, let me just get the annotation tab also working. Because last time I remember we had a problem with this. So this time I'll not remove this tab, I'll let it remain here. Okay. Yeah. So I hope, let's see it works or not. Yes. So it's 8:03 by my watch out here, and we'll be following this, and we'll start at 8:10. So 5 minutes more for you to just make sure if you have not downloaded the question paper, you can download the question paper, and then we will start off from there. Okay. Yes, Kanika, happy Diwali to you and to everyone else who's attending out here. And sorry to be pulling you out on a pre-Diwali day, but I thought we might as well do it, otherwise you would have to defer it by another 2 days. Okay? And I'm reasonably confident that many of you would be studying tomorrow also. So I did not have problem coming up here. Yeah, you might hear some crackers in the background. I hope that is not an issue. So we live with this problem of crackers in the background. Off and on you will be getting it. Can we have a link to the question paper? Okay. The question paper you have not downloaded. The question paper is available in careerlauncher.com in the SIS section. For those of you who are not Career Launcher students, it will be available in the class apart at class apart at PDF download. I'll have it uploaded by tonight itself. Okay. Okay. But CL students, you can download it from SIS. Gaurav, why only 55,000 people apply for IIFT? What makes it so difficult than CAT? Is it actually difficult? Yes, Gaurav, it is more difficult than CAT. There's no doubt about it. What makes it difficult is the complicated nature and the kind of dynamics it expects you to go ahead with. We'll be discussing that as we go along. So just hold on for this section. Okay, so I'll take just a short 5-minute break, get a glass of water for myself. All of you could do the same, and then we'll have a straight 2.5 hour session. Okay. I think if you just take a note that the PDF of this particular session, which is the mock, the CAT, IIFT 2012-14, PDF is uploaded at Clapper Path. Please make sure it is done. Okay, so a short break and we'll resume in another 3 to 4 minutes. Though it will have it uploaded, I'll have it checked up again. Alfred, please take a note of this also, that the previous session on IIFT which we had done on mastering IIFT or how to crack IIFT is yet to be uploaded. Just check out day after tomorrow. The conversion must have happened by now. Okay. So 2 tasks for us. One is uploading the paper for Daksh, there is no sectional cutoff in IIFT. Ankit, could you just switch off your mic? There's an echo which is coming out here. Please mute your mic. Thank you, Arpit. Okay. Yeah, Daksh, IIFT does not tell us clearly whether it has sectional cutoff or not, but till now they have not used sectional cutoff. They have just gone by the total cutoff. Okay. Kanika, yesterday's GK session will also be uploaded. Don't worry about it. All these sessions will be uploaded. Normally, this requires a conversion process, which at times, if it's a bigger file, takes a little time. Sometimes it is done fairly fast. So typically it takes us about a couple of days to upload it. Yesterday's GK session should get uploaded by day after tomorrow. IIFT session should have been uploaded. It is a delay. We'll have to check it up and see what was the issue out there. Okay. Okay. Any question I have missed out? Although, sir, I have not seen these papers which you are mentioning, so I really can't comment on these papers, how good or how bad they are. My suggestion would be focus on first, make sure you do the 6 IIFT papers which are there with you, which are IIFT 2006 to 2011 papers, which are available on Career Launcher website. If you're a Career Launcher student, you can download it from SIS. If you are not a career launcher student, check up with a friend who's a career launcher student and borrow it from him or her. Okay. After you do that, in addition to that, we have given two FLTs for IIFT, as well as we have one mock IIFT which is on 18th. So these 3 and 6 papers should be more than enough. Okay. Okay, just coming back to one of the earlier questions with Gaurav had asked, why only 55,000 students apply for IIT? I really don't know. I've always felt it's because of larger number of students, but that's the way most of people tend to think. So good for those of you who have applied because the chances of selection go up proportionately. Okay. Okay, great. So Arpit has already given you the links. I hope you can see these links. Okay. Arpit, I'm passing you the mic. I'm not sure what these links are for. If you could just speak up and see what those are. Arpit, your voice is not coming across. So maybe you could just write down in this chat box as to what this links are for, and I'll relay it to everyone else. Okay, there's a PDF for today. The 3 links which Arpit has sent. Those of you who have not got this could just take these links and download the paper. This has the PDF for the day. Okay. Okay. How do I practice mock test? I'm a CL student. That's fine. But as I said, take these papers, IIFT old papers, practice them as section tests, 2 FLTs and 1 mock test is what you have to look at like papers for the day. Okay. Should we solve all IIFT papers? Yes, definitely in English, DI and reasoning. In quantitative aptitude, you need to be selective about the question which you have to attempt solve. Rishi attempted only 7 in the paper. At home, I was able to find about 20. Yes, that is right. This paper is not difficult. It was difficult under the circumstances of the test conditions. Swayam is asking, do we have to get a non-zero score in each section? Swayam, the idea is that you get about 4-5 marks at least in each section. And since you may or may not have attended the previous session on IIFT, my benchmark is attempt 50% in each section. 50% attempt is what you should be targeting in each section. Okay? Because the cutoff is just about 45%. Last year it was 45 or 46 marks, but that was after giving 3 or 4 marks for incorrect questions. So realistically speaking, last year's cutoff was about 42 marks or so. Okay? Great. So let me just where the FLTs and mocks uploaded. FLTs have been given to students in that they have not been uploaded. FLTs are paper tests, and also the mock is a test which will be conducted at CL centers. So those of you who are not CL students could contact the closest career launcher center and take the test there. We will get in a couple of days, 18th, so maybe tomorrow in case it's closed. Day after tomorrow, I'll check up if it is available online also for those of you who are not close to a CL center. Okay. Great. So I will start the session. I will be closing this box. I will come back to chat and just later on if required. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me just organize this for my benefit. Okay. Great. Great. So without wasting too much time, stop annotating. So we will have to struggle with this part in terms of annotation. Okay. Uh, Okay. This is the first thing which we need to remember when I'm looking at the IIFT paper. We are always saying that it is complicated, difficult, and this is what makes our life difficult out here. Okay. 6 sections and more importantly, different marks per section. Okay. And so your task is to identify which of these is going to work for you and which of these are not going to work for you. Okay. Now, if you look at the instruction, these are the ones. Okay. All questions have one correct answer. Every question must indicate clearly, etc. Negative marking of 1/3, total time of 120 minutes. Nowhere have they mentioned whether you can, let me say, whether you need to worry about sectional cutoff or not. Had they even mentioned that you need to look at each section separately or you need to show a competence in every section, it would have made our life easier. But out here, nothing has been mentioned. So the first thing which is important for me out here is I will say, can I look at each of these 6 sections and see what these are? Okay? Now, there's some problem. The PDF was not uploading completely, so I will be moving back and forth between the PDF between this cursor and the annotation thing. But let's quickly go through these 6. What do they mean? The first thing, if I remember, if you remember, which I had said, or which I have written in a blog also, that don't consider this a 2-hour paper. This is a 1 hour 15-minute paper for you because the first 10 minutes are there for you to take into account the let me say to scan the paper, understand the various sections, and see what is there in each. So let us go through each of these. I will be noting some of these things separately on the sheet of paper, and I will come back to it and write down on the first page later on. But the first section out here, there are 6 sections. They have not mentioned what each section is for. I would like to understand this part first. Okay. Section 1 is reasoning. It looks like a reasoning section. Yes, some boys are scholars, etc. First is set of questions, then you have syllogism kind of questions. Then these are questions which are mathematical operators, doable. These are coding questions, again doable. Course of action statements and the course of action, couple of questions here. Most of these are doable. These are also fine. These are the questions which I don't like because they take time, and these effectively become second priority for me when I'm looking at the paper for this section. Again, these are reasoning questions, look like arrangement questions. Next set also is select a team of 5 members, again kind of arrangement question. Okay. Coding, decoding, again doable. In the worst case, I can do these questions by writing down the complete code for each one of them. Again, arrangement. So 21 questions, first 21 questions are arrangement or let me say reasoning questions. Section 2 is a GK section. Okay. So section 2 is a GK section. Okay. And if you remember, I have mentioned in my blog as well as we discussed it in the previous session that IIFT has a large number of match the following questions. One, another match the following. Here you have match the following. The beauty of these questions is even if you don't know all of them, you can many a time get the answer on the basis of 1 or 2 of these only. Again, match the following. Okay. Okay. So second section, the first section was reasoning, second is a GK section. Again, match the following. Section 3 is the RC section. Passage what is given to you. Okay. Passage, lengthy passages. Interestingly, if you remember last time we had talked about the choices are also lengthy. If you remember correctly, some of those of you attended the session, Neeraj had specifically mentioned it is not only the question or the passages which are lengthy, every choice is a lengthy thing, and typically you have 2 to 4 line choices, and this is what you can see out here also. So not only it takes you time to read and understand the passage when you have time, the choices are all equally laborious and it takes a huge amount of time. Okay, the second section is again an RC section. And again, out here you have something which is match the following. So first passage had 43 to 46 4 questions. Second passage has again 49, 50 for 4 questions. Third passage, again 4 questions. And the last passage, oh, this is a short passage, the last one. It seems to be a short passage, yeah. It's just less than a page, but 3 questions. So 4 passages, 3 passages with 4 questions, 1 passage with 3 questions. Okay. Next passage, next section is English usage. Someone out here had asked just a little while ago, can I leave EU, RC completely and do only EU? No, you cannot, because these are 2 different sections. We have EU as a separate section in this paper and RC as a separate section. And in each section, I would suggest please look at attempting about half the section at all. Okay. Okay, let me just Anvesh, please check your system, because others are able to hear it. Okay. Okay. So we'll just go out of this again. Okay, so the next section is English usage, grammar. Okay, what is this? Fill in the blanks, and then you have grammar again, English. This shouldn't be an issue. This could be a little time consuming, because remember I said para jumble, para completion, time consuming. I'll look at them later. Okay. Then we have these again para completion, para jumble kind of a thing. Again you have questions out here which are oriented towards match the following. Okay. Again you have coding, decoding. What is it? Okay, we'll come to it. Oxymoron, grammar, spelling, para jumble. Okay, spelling. Okay, and again you have another one. Okay. So fourth section is English usage. Section 5 is quantitative. Second, now look at this question. Lengthy question. Short to read. Now these are the questions which are worth attempting in IIFT. Now I can assure you that this question or this question or this question 87, all of them are likely to be very easy questions, but they are going to be time consuming, because even to read them will take us a minute to minute and a half. Reading and understanding will take you a minute to minute and a half, and anything more than that obviously is going to be difficult for you to handle. So the way to handle questions in IIFT is first do questions like this. Okay, I'll leave these. None of these is worth looking at. Definitely not in the first round. Maybe this one can be, but not the others. This can be done. These are the ones which you should be attempting in the first round. These are the questions which you have to be attempting in the first round. Okay. These are the questions which have to be attempted in the first round. So like the way I would look at it is questions 84, 85, and then questions 89 onward till 100. So 89 to 100 is 12 questions. And 84, 85, another 2 questions. These are the 14 questions which I will look at first. The balance 7 or 8 questions of point, I will come back to it later. I can assure you these are not going to be difficult questions to solve, but they will be definitely difficult questions to read, and they will take time. 104 is another question which is worth attempting. 103 also can be looked at, but these are going to be time consuming. As I said about all these questions also. Okay, so this was this, so obviously the last set has to be data interpretation. Look at the amount of data. More importantly, when you start solving the questions, the right choices are closed. So look at the choices here. Okay. Okay. And you have a none of these. None of these is always difficult for us to handle, because it means approximation becomes difficult. We need to get the answer. Here you have a huge amount of data again, and sources have none of these. And look at these sources, 52.70, 52.86, and so the gap is so small that it may not be worth attempting this question at all. Even without going through the data, it seems to be very, very close sources. Okay, so may or may not be worth attempting. Okay. Again, a huge amount of data. Okay. But the quantity of data and the level of difficulty may not be correlated. So we need not worry too much about that. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is my first feeling is when I look at this paper, okay. Yes, I will be mentioning the question numbers explicitly when we go detail into the section. But right now I will start by saying that when we look at this section, uh, okay. Okay. When I look at the section, I'm sorry. I need to go to this sheet. Yeah. Okay. So the way I'm looking at it, the first section is the reasoning section. Second section is GK. Third section is the reading comprehension. Fourth section was English usage. Fifth section was quantitative ability. And sixth section was DI. Sixth section, 100 marks. Uh, and we need to make sure that we will attempt only those parts which are easy and which are less time consuming. I see if you remember going through it, we found that these passages were lengthy, and since there are about 15 questions, the target has to be 2 passages should be good enough. 2 passages is what we look at attempting out here. Section 1 reasoning, we will see what all we can do. And 21 questions are there. Obviously, we will not be able to attempt everything, but maybe reasoning being an area where you can maximize your score, maybe you should be looking at doing about 14, 15 out here. But the other part which is difficult or time consuming is data interpretation. Again, I will say out of 16, if I can do 2 sets of data, 16 questions, 2 sets of data, or 7 to 8 questions is what I will look at attempting out here. Quantitative aptitude, at the first glance I found there were about 15 questions which were short. Those are the ones I look at first, and after that if I have time I'll spend a little more time and do the others as well. Then the next thing is English usage. Try to maximize out here. Obviously, whatever you are not sure of, you leave. There will be a few questions I will leave. GK, if you know the answer, mark. If you don't know the answer, just leave it. Everywhere, match the following is something which I'm going to be focusing on. Maximize out here, definitely yes. Okay. So my starting point out here is, in what sequence do I attend the paper? I will always attend the paper starting with GK. I will give myself about 10 minutes out here. And in English usage also I'll give myself about 10 minutes. Why 10 minutes? Because I want to maximize my score. Usage has a 0.75 weightage. IIFT has a 0.75 weightage. GK has a 0.5, while reasoning, quant and DI have 1 mark weightage. So I would like to maximize out here. And that is also one of the reasons when I see 0.75 marks per question, I would rather do reasoning after having done a little bit of IIFT. Then I will look at doing about 15, maybe on the outside 20 minutes to IIFT. So I'll start from here, move on to, I'll start from GK, do English usage, move on to reading comprehension after that. Then I have my 3 sections which are of my interest. I will move on to number 4 to reasoning, because, and then on to quant, and then on to DI. DI is the last section that I will be attempting. In reasoning, and quant, where I think I have to maximize my scores, I will want to give the highest possible time. So assuming I have already taken 10 minutes for scanning the paper, I've already allocated 10, 10, 20, and maybe another 20 minutes, let's take on the outside 40 minutes out here. So 40 minutes have been given for English, IIFT, and GK. So, and 15 minutes have gone. I have another 70 minutes with me. These 70 minutes I would like to divide as, say, 30 minutes for reasoning on the outside. Then about 25 minutes for QA. Okay. 25 minutes for QA, and finally I will look at 25 minutes for QA, and finally I will look at the remaining time for DI, which could be about 15 minutes or so. So my basic way of working is, just to repeat, I will start with GK, give myself 10 minutes out here. After GK, GK was section 4 if I remember, yes, GK was section 4, 10 minutes out here. Then go to English usage. So this is my first number one here, number 2 English usage. Then the third item I will take, as I said earlier, there would be reading comprehension. Reading comprehension I will again give myself just about 15 minutes. If required, I will go up to 20 minutes. Okay. So this annotation is creating problems, so I will move on to the questions straight away now. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Harish, Harshit, but I hope I've been able to get the point through that there's a sequence which should be followed, and we will go on that only. Okay. So very quickly, I'll take you through the GK section. My purpose of GK is not to solve the questions for you, but to show you that many a times you can get the answer based on very simple data with yourself also, and we'll not then waste too much time on the other things. Okay. Let me just reduce this a little. Yes, I think this should be good enough for us. Now, the thing to remember is what I always maintain about GK: if you know the answer, mark it. If you don't know the answer, leave it. So question 22 is either a yes or a no. It is not something which you can get the answer on the basis of choices. Okay? You don't waste your time on this question. You know the answer, mark it. If you don't know the answer, leave it. But conversely, when I look at question 23, this is a question in which you should be willing to spend time out here. You have to be willing to spend time for the simple reason, out of the 4 choices, if you can get even one of them, for example, I was very sure about this one, that Saif Ali Khan and Amal Macho match. So the moment I know that B1 is there, this choice C becomes incorrect. B4, this becomes incorrect. So your answer is either choice A or choice B. Okay. Okay. So the idea in these questions is straight away try to get the answer by elimination of choices. Akshay Kumar Dollar Club was another item for me. D2. So D4 is here, D2 is here, and if this is incorrect, this is the correct answer. And look at this question, for example. There are 3 columns actually. So you can still get the answer. For example, Zufane, ibuprofen is a clear match. So D2 has to be there. This is D4 incorrect. D2 is possible. D2 is possible. D2 is possible. Okay. So one match we are there. Even if you don't know who manufactures ibuprofen, it doesn't matter. Second thing, I am sure most of you would know, Viagra is manufactured by Pfizer. Okay. I would be surprised if some of you don't know, but nevertheless, coming back to it, so A has to be ending with 2. This is, in any case, choice A was incorrect, so we'll not worry about it. A2 is fine. A1 is incorrect. Choice C is incorrect. D is incorrect. Correct answer is B. So look at the beauty of these questions. They have made our task so easy by giving these matching things. Again, question 26. Any best in Theosophical Society, I'm sure is very, very obvious to everyone. Okay. And similarly for the others. If you go further out here, question 32. Now the only thing I was able to find match here was that Gidda is from Punjab, but I was not sure about the others. Leave the question there. So the task in these questions is that you just go through the choices and the questions and mark the answers based on whatever you know. Now if you quickly look at the others, this was a yes or no. 24 again is a yes or no. This again is a yes or no. So 22, 24, 25, know the answer, mark. Don't know the answer, leave. 26, all the matched up following, you have to definitely go through it. Not written by APJ Abdul Kalam, again it's a yes or no question. Okay. Okay. So that is what you need to be aware of. I'm not going to get into the specific sections per se and discuss those, because you have the solution with you, you can do them. Apart from the yes no question, there again these questions are not strictly match the following, but you can still get the answer from. For example, when I look at this question number 31, which of the following rivers do not flow across Uttarakhand? Ganga flows across Uttarakhand, good enough for me. Yamuna flows across Uttarakhand, in fact both of them originate in Uttarakhand, so two of them are out. Now, these, I'm very sure Gomti does not flow across Uttarakhand because it is situated, Lucknow is situated on the banks of Gomti. So, most probably this should be the answer. Or maybe this is the answer. So your task is at the end of the day, to, because I am very sure that Gomti does not flow across Uttarakhand, I can take my chances out here even if I am not sure out here. So again the rule is, when you have eliminated two choices, out of the remaining two you can still mark one answer. But if you don't know anything, just ignore the question and move on. Okay. Which of the following countries is not a member of United Nations? Again, this is a question which can be solved by the choices. I am very sure about Taiwan not being a member of the United Nations. The moment you say Taiwan is not a member of United Nations, you can start eliminating choices. Okay. Taiwan, this choice does not have Taiwan, so this can be eliminated. This choice does not have Taiwan, this can be eliminated. So Taiwan, Yemen, Tunisia, Vatican City, again, between these two choices, choice A as well as choice G, Taiwan is present in both of them, but Vatican City is not a country strictly, or it's not a republic, so it also would not be, because it's the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church, so it is also unlikely to be a member of the United Nations, so again it can be marked. So please remember, working with the choices is essential when we talk about this particular paper. Okay. If you do not work with the choices, you will end up wasting a huge amount of time and also probably getting a large number of answers which are incorrect. Look at this last question of GK and then we'll move on to the next section. Match the country, capital and currency. In fact, country, capital and currency is something which is very, very regular as far as IIFT is concerned. So you should be able to, you should at least make sure you know the countries and the currency and the capital of as many as possible, as whatever you are comfortable with. Okay. So in this question again, my starting point would be, I know capital of Ethiopia is Addis Ababa. Ethiopia is here. Argentina capital is Buenos Aires. Yemen, I know the capital is Sanaa. Turkmenistan should be this one. Okay. So this can most of the time, even without having the currency in place, may give you the answer. Okay. So please make sure you use the choices. We'll stop as far as this section is concerned and move on to the other section. Okay. But I hope I've been able to get the concept across to you that you have to make sure you use the choices. So whatever you know, let you start eliminating choices, you will start getting the answer. And where you are able to eliminate two out of the four choices, just take a chance without worrying too much about it. Where you do not know anything about the question, just move on with right, forget about that question. Okay. Next section I said I would do section, the English usage section. So let me go to English usage first and then I will come to, have we first? No. This is English usage. Again, with respect to English usage, my target here is going to be, can I again show you which are the questions which have to be attempted? Okay? Because the paper is all about identifying the right questions to attempt. Okay. Okay. So I will just identify which ones I will not attempt more than anything else. Okay. Just a minute. Let me try to maximize the screen space. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, look at this question first two. As compared to the CAT grammar question, they will look very easy, and they are. Okay. Where you are in CAD, while you are expected to find the which of these statements, how many, and then there's a combination. Out here you have to see which part of the statement is incorrect, and which makes your life that much more easier. Okay. So this question of grammar, typically while I will be cautious or I will not attempt many a times in CAD, when it comes to IFT, these will be attempted by me. Neither the examiner nor his assistant were informed about the cancellation of the examination. Neither the examiner nor his assistant, it should be singular, was informed. Neither the examiner was informed nor the assistant was informed. Simple question you will find. Being a short holiday, we had to return without visiting many places. It being a short holiday. Okay. So A is incorrect. Now, where you need to focus on when I start going through question by question, 58, I will attempt 59, I will attempt 59, 60, 61. 4 words of phrases, mark BCD beneath each, mark the option that's for complete. I will do this. Okay. I will attempt fill in the blank for sentence completion question out here. Okay. So 60, 61 would be attempted, these will be attempted. Okay. 62, 63 again are attemptable because we are again focusing more on the vocabulary part. Okay. 2 sentences containing underlined homonyms and identify which of these are correct. A vote of censure, it should be censure, S-U-R-E. So statement 1 is incorrect. Before the release, every film is passed by censor board, this is correct. So this is incorrect, this is correct. So among the choices, statement 1, this is incorrect. Statement 2, choice B becomes the correct answer. Does not take time, has to be done. 63, again a similar question. Complement and complement. Again, the issue out here is, if you do not know the meaning or the spelling of these words, don't worry about these questions, just move on to the next question. You should not be wasting your time at all on this if you do not know the meaning. Okay, okay, let me just get back to the annotation part. Okay, 68, 69 are again attemptable because they are all saying find the antonyms. If you do not know the meaning of the word, just leave the question. If you know the meaning of the word, you should do it. So 68, 69 are again read the question, know the answer, mark. If you don't know the answer, leave the question and move on. Okay? So 68, 69. From your point of view, you should know the meaning of all these 10 words. You need to know the meaning of all these 10 words. So the last 5 or 6 papers of IIFT which you had, you should make sure you know the meaning of every word which has come in these papers. Hopefully some of them will reappear in this year's paper as well. Okay. Where have I gone? Okay, we were here. Okay. Okay. Now again going forward on this, 64 should be attempted. When I say attempted, know the answer, mark, otherwise leave. This is again a round 1 question, this is round 1 question, this is a round 1 question. These have to be done. Again, therefore is a gentle marry these. The moment I know it, I will go to the choice and remove. Factual, predilection, evaluation. Even if you know one, it is good enough for you to look at the choices and start to working towards getting the answer. Okay. So please make sure that you do these questions first. This is not a question which should be attempted initially. Since I have allocated only 10 minutes for this section to begin with, question 70, 71 are not a top priority item because not only do I have to read a lot in this, but also I have to start checking out which ones will make sense. Okay. Okay. So please make sure you don't waste time on these questions like this. Okay. They can be done. Yes, they can be done. If you have 20 minutes for this section, then you should look at doing all the 20 odd questions on this paper. But since I have given myself only 10 minutes, it does not make sense. If you give 15 minutes, some of these questions you should be then attempting. The first target has to be to do question like this. This one out here. These two questions. Okay? These are the ones which will make your life easy. Okay. Okay. I think let me just take up these 70 and 71 also. Let me at least do one of them because these are different kind of questions than what we are used to. So I'll just do one of them and a partially completed paragraph is given below, followed by fillers A, B, C from options A, B, C, D. Identify the right combination. Okay. So it is a kind of a para completion, some sentence arrangement. Okay. So it's two things happening together out here. Okay. In cultivating team spirit, one should not forget the importance of discipline. Then we have this blank with us. It is the duty of all members of the team to observe discipline in its proper perspective. Now we need to see out of these three statements, small a, small b and small c, which three will fit in and in what order. Now look at statement A. A proper team spirit can seldom be based on discipline. This is going against the logic of the paragraph. The paragraph is talking about one should not forget discipline. It is the duty of every member to observe discipline, etc., etc. So that means this choice statement A, which is talking about discipline and team spirit cannot go hand in hand, has to be incorrect. So this statement is definitely not a part of my answer. The moment I say this is not part of my answer, this cannot be the answer. And also, statement choice C also cannot be the answer. Okay? Okay. Coming back to it, the statements again. It is well known fact that team spirit and discipline can never go hand in hand. Again, this cannot be the answer. Why? Because it is again from both these statements, small a and small b, are talking about the fact that discipline and team spirit cannot go hand in hand, while this paragraph is talking about some kind of a correlation between the two. Which means this also cannot be the answer. So even without reading this, you can mark the answer as the thing. Okay? But out here, it is always safe to make sure you read everything. Okay? You can look at question 71 also. Okay? We will leave this question and you can do it at yourself. But the idea being that you read this paragraph which is given, understand the context, and on the basis of the context, identify which of these three small statements can come in, and then you worry about the order. And the moment you see a particular statement can come in or not come in, you eliminate choices accordingly. For example, out here when I look at these choices, okay, supposing you say that A has to be a part of my answer, then any choice which does not have A has to be incorrect, and so on. Okay? So do this question yourself, but remember this is a kind of a combination of para or sentence completion or para completion as well as para jumble. Time consuming, not to be done initially, to be attempted afterwards. 72 again is a kind of a para completion or para jumble question. Okay. This again is a para completion question, rather para jumble, in which the first part of the statement is given and last part is given. Okay. The first and the last part of the statements are given. Okay. Okay. A number of measures dash of the municipal corporation. You need to arrange them in a given order. Again, the rules of para completion still have to be applied, or rather para jumble still have to be applied. Okay. In order to a number of measures dash of the municipal corporation. So when I go through them, dash of the municipal corporation, the financial condition of the municipal corporation looks logical. For mobilization of resources as possible in order to improve. Yes, in order to improve financial condition. Okay. Are being taken by state government. So this part you have to look at like a typical para jumble and fit it in this. So you can look at, this is a like saying in CAT you have 6 statement para jumbles, the opening statement is given to you. closing statement is given to you, and then you have four statements in the middle. Okay, so these are the four statements in the middle. This is the opening statement, and this is the closing statement. So that's the way it has to be done, which is your normal process. But the more important thing for me is this is not something you should be doing initially. Okay, coming back here. Which of the following cannot be termed as an oxymoron? If you know the meaning of oxymoron, only then you can start. If you don't know the meaning of oxymoron, there's no point worrying about it. Similarly, question 74, if you don't know the spelling at all, just read the question. For example, most of the time I will not even worry about this question because I'm pathetic when it comes to spelling. I have very poor spelling. My knowledge of spelling is very poor, so I will normally not attend these until I'm 100% sure. Okay. Similarly, out here, oxymoron, if you don't know the meaning, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. This again is a para-jumble question. This is a question which again I may or may not do initially. But again, this I will do, this I will do, this I will do. Question 76, 77. Typically I will do because I will just start writing down what it says. For example, if I look at choice G out here, choice G out here is can mean O. So I have 6, 7. 6, 7 is CT. CT. Then I have 3, 1. OI. Sorry, O and 3 and 1 P. So 8 and 5. 8 and 5 is E and R. E, R. 4 is going to be I. 2 is M. It does not make sense, leave it here. Okay. So typically I will attempt these questions, but these are my last choices in terms of attempting these questions. Okay. So remember when I'm looking at English per se, I'm first attempting the vocab question, grammar question, and match the following. After I have done this, only after that will I go to the other part. The other parts are para-jumble, para-completion, some statement, some jumble, whatever it is. Or rather, before that, I will take questions like this. Okay, the 76, 77 is what I will do because here you will definitely get the correct answer if you write it down correctly. Para-jumble, para-completion, you may or may not, but 76, 77 will definitely happen correct. Okay? So that is the approach you need to apply for this particular paper. If there's any specific question which you want me to discuss in English, I'll be happy to take it. Okay. So I'll quickly go through these questions. And if nothing comes, then we'll move on to the next section. 58 to 62, or rather 58 to 63, we have any specific question or doubt, let me take that up, otherwise we'll move on to the next one. Okay. 60. Question 78. So I'll come to question 78. But before that, let me go to the others. 64 to 69, any specific question? 64 to 69. 61 whose unrelenting cannot be moved by entreaty is inexorable. Again, you need to make sure you know the meaning. What is the difference between inexorable, impregnable, infallible, inexplicable? Okay. So make sure you know the meanings of each one of them. Okay. So 68, 69. Okay, we have 75, 78 and 80. Okay. 72, 73, 75, 78 and 80. Okay. 75. Let me just have a look at 75, 78, 80. Great. All three of them are on the same page. Okay, I'll just look at each one of them. Let me just get the master working. Okay. 75, 78 and 80. Okay. 75, food supply storage. Let me just go through it for your benefit. What I was able to connect immediately was these two. When I was reading this paragraph, by preventing wastage in storage, distribution and handling. So my first connection was that 5 and 2 have to be together. Okay. My first connection out here was that statement 5 and statement 2 are connected in that sequence. So 5, 2 has to be there. By preventing wastage in can be increased does not make sense. The productivity of agriculture. Preventing wastage in what? It has to be preventing wastage in storage, distribution and handling. So 5 and 2 are connected was first thing. The moment I have 5 and 2 are connected or have to be together, this is fine. Statement B, choice B is incorrect because 5 and 2 are not together. Here we have 5 and 2. Here we again do not have 5 and 2. So A and C are the possible options. The next step is just start reading it in the sequence which is in 7. So 1-7, food supply can be increased by preventing okay, food supply can be increased by preventing wastage in storage, handling and distribution besides increasing pastoral industry. Does not make sense at all. Does not make sense, so I'll ignore it and move on to the next choice again. Okay, so out here I will say, I will start reading again out here. Besides increasing the productivity from agriculture, pastoral industry and fishing. Yes, this makes sense. 463 makes sense. Besides increasing the pastoral industry and fishing, food supply can be increased. Food supply can be increased by preventing wastage. Yes, the correct answer is C. Okay? So typically out here, as in the case of normal paragamble, your task is to identify mandatory pairs, eliminate choices, and then look for another mandatory pair. Okay? The other two questions were 78 and 80. Okay, 68 one, I'll come back to it later. But 78 and 80, let me take 80 first. Ad nauseum is the repetition. Repeating to the point of boredom. A, D1 was definitely one of the things. So that means this is incorrect, this is incorrect. Okay. In situ again, ex libris, the word libris, the library, you should have connected this to the word book. Because libris is connected to book or library comes from this word. So you should have logically connected that A and C have to be together. Okay. Incidentally out here, the other thing which is used many a time in situ, excuse me. Okay, in situ means in the original place. It has not moved at all. Okay. So out here again question 80, the doubt was, no, there was no doubt except maybe the meanings were not known. If you don't know the meaning, there's nothing which can be done about it. This type of questions do come very often in IIFT, so you need to make sure you do know the Latin phrases, etc. Okay, question number, so the question number 78, why not C? Okay, 78. Okay, question 78. Incidentally, you remember last time and even in my blog I have written, IIFT has typically 5 or 6 questions which are incorrect or there are no choices or there are multiple choices. Question 78 is one of these 5 or 6 questions. In this question, strictly speaking, both A as well as C are correct. There's nothing wrong with either of them. He asked her whether she was coming to the party. He asked her if she was coming to the party. Both of them are correct, but IIFT took the correct answer as C. So because IIFT took the correct answer as C, we don't have an option but to go by that. Okay. So if you go by choice C, you will be given a mark. If you go by choice A, you will get a negative mark by IIFT. Okay. But from a grammar point of view, from language point of view, both A as well as C are correct, so there's nothing wrong with either of them. Okay. Okay, let me just go to question 68, if I remember correctly, it was asked. Let me confirm it. Isn't 80 a yes no type? What was 80? No, it is yes no type, but because it has matched the following, you should go through it and then decide whether you want to do it or not. Okay. Okay, I think there was question 68 also which was asked, so we'll go through that also. Okay, the meaning of the word disable. Disable is something which deserves to be laughed at. Okay, so something which does not deserve to be laughed at is something which is serious. In any case, again, if you go through the choices, amusing is kind of a synonymous. Ludicrous and ridiculous, both of them mean the same thing. So if C is correct, D should also be correct. Okay, so the way I will look at it is definitely the correct answer is serious. Thing to remember in IIFT again is many a time you'll have to work with the choices because none of the choices will be exactly correct. Okay, so make sure you do work with the choices. Okay, okay, okay. After Raghav, but it could be okay. Where is the chat box gone? Yeah. Kamal, which question are you talking about? Where do you think I have given you wrong? Uh, Kamal Modi, if you could just again mark which question you are talking about. Okay. So while Kamal gives it, Rishi, remember if there's a question which is incorrect, IIFT will give marks to everyone. So don't worry if there's a question which is incorrect. Even if you have spent time, you have not lost anything, but because you will get some marks for it. Okay. Let us quickly move on to the uh, reasoning, quant and DI, where I believe most of you want to spend more time. Okay. Samyani, they will give you marks. They will give marks to everyone if there's a question incorrect. At least that is what IIFT has done so far. So far, if there's a question which is incorrect, they have given marks to everyone. Okay. Again, going back. Okay. Okay, which one do you want to do first? You want to do reasoning first or you want to do, yes, RC I will, okay, before I move on to that, let me just quickly look at the RC part and tell you which ones I attempted and why. Okay. Okay. QA reasoning, QA reasoning. Okay. Okay, it seems QA is a more popular item. Yeah, I'm finishing RC first and then we'll go to QA. Okay. Now, the way to look at RC again is, remember, I said 15 minutes is what I will spend in the section. If I'm going to spend only 15 minutes in this section, obviously, I have to be very selective in what I attend. This section, if you remember, has 4 passages. 3 passages have 4 questions each, which is 12 questions, and 1 passage has 3 questions, which is 3 questions. Total of 7 questions, or total of 15 questions are there. Okay. So the choice is to attempt 2 passages. So if you attempt 2 passages, you will do about 7 to 8 questions. Questions you will find are not difficult, but the passages are lengthy. So my first preference is to attempt those passages which are short and whose subject I am comfortable with. To me, this is the most important item. You give me a very short passage, but the subject I am not comfortable, I will not do it. For me, the subject is priority 1, and after that is met, I will go for this. So, but subject is the most important item as far as I am concerned. Okay. When I go to passage 1, quickly, it is talking about break bulk cargo, something about port operation, okay, maximizing efficiency, New York City as a port, early 50s. So some kind of a history of port operation is being discussed out here. Okay. So looks like readable. As far as I'm concerned, looks like readable, should not be a problem. But the length is huge. If you look at it, it is almost this is about 3/4 of a page or 80% of a page, and so it is more than a page in length when I add the whole thing. When I go to the choices again are very, very lengthy. Passage looks readable, I think I can handle it, but choices are lengthy. Okay, so I will come back to it later. Good thing again is there's a one mark match the following question also there, which normally easy. Okay. Second passage, number of attributes of consumer behavior, motivation, preliminary discussion of scenario, financial services, okay. Financial third message, analysis by expenditure pattern, not very comfortable reading it. So I will forward the line of household, okay. Some kind of financial passage. In terms of length, it is again, it is about 1 page and 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Okay. Between the first two passages, this one, it looks, has a shorter choices and questions, but I am not very comfortable reading it. Okay. So I am not very sure about this one. The next passage, passage 3, Ratan Tata moves Supreme Court. Oh, this is the famous Radia tape controversy. So it looks like a newspaper article can be read. The dispute, the Mukesh Ambani, Anil Ambani dispute. Again, so it looks like something which I'm very comfortable. I like to read such stuff. Worth attempting, worth reading. So this is a passage which I will definitely attempt. Of course, it is talking about lawyers. Okay. So some kind of legal angle to this passage. Comfortable. Again, when I look at this question about lawyers, all 4 are lawyer names. Passage to be attempted. Okay. So I'm definite that I will attempt the Ratan Tata passage. Then the last passage. In terms of length, this is the shortest, but it also has 3 questions only. Okay. What is this passage all about? Frequently, yeah. Narasimhan Committee, I am aware of Narasimhan Committee, so it should not be an issue. So talk about banks, reorganization of banks. I am aware of the topic and the subject. I would want to read this. This is not a long passage, so I will attempt passage 3 and 4. Similarly, I would expect you to make sure you identify which passages would you like to attempt. Okay? So that is all I would want to do out here with respect to reading comprehension. I'll go back to question 78, which Kamal had asked for. Okay, question 78, yeah. Identify the right alternative ABCD which best expresses a sentence in indirect speech. Okay, 79 also. He said to her, are you coming to the party? Okay, Kamal, I'm sure that B and D are not a problem. I'm sure that between you are not worried about either B or D. Okay. So are you? So he inquired with her because we are looking at indirect speech. We would also like it to be succinct to the point. Okay. Okay. He asked her whether she was coming to the party. He asked her if she was coming to the party. IIFT has given the correct answer as C. I said that, yeah, Kamal, why do you think A is wrong if you could write it down? Because grammatically there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, Kamal, waiting for your answer. Because whether or not has to be together. No, Kamal, not necessarily. He asked her whether she was coming to the party is good enough. Whether or not need not be there. Okay. Okay. Okay, question number 79. Someone has asked for that. The teacher said, be quiet, boys. This question again, there is some kind of a ambiguity, let me say. The correct answer could be either, if you look at it, the teacher said, be quiet, boys. Now, be quiet, boys, is it a request? Is it an order? I can't say for sure. Okay. 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 Let me just. Okay. Let me just commit it here. Okay. Now, question number 79. Now when I look at this question, the teacher says be quiet boys. Now this is slightly ambiguous as far as I'm concerned, because be quiet boys, I don't know whether it is a request or is it an order. Okay. The teacher could be requesting the students. So when I'm looking at this question, from my point of view, B and C, both of them could be correct. Okay. The teacher urged in the request kind of a thing. The teacher called the boys and ordered them to be quiet. This is the other thing. IIFT had gone by this, and the only reason the only way to look at that was 3 out of the 4 choices were talking about ordering client criticism. Okay. Okay. Now these are areas you'll have to look at. Some of these are a little ambiguous. There's no specific answer to it. How should you handle it? There's no specific answer. You go by what you feel is right. If the question is incorrect, and you will get the marks for it. If the question was correct as per IIFT, and there's nothing you can do about it. So just when you have ambiguity in these questions, you don't know. It is only when IIFT will come out with the answer key at the later stage will you know whether it was ambiguous or not, or whether there was any error in the question or not. Okay? So when you're doing the paper, just do it to the best of your ability, and don't worry about just of the things. Okay. Okay. Quickly, now let me move on to quant was the preferred item, so we will do quant first. Okay. Let me first look at the question which I said we should be doing first. I will keep telling you whether it is, from my point of view, round 1 or round 2. Okay. 81 is a round 2 question. It's a time speed distance question. Should not be difficult, but it is huge amount of data, and hence I will not like to do it initially. 82, again a huge amount of data. It will take time for me to read, not worth attempting as far as I'm concerned, at least not initially. Okay. 83, time and work. I will come back to it. It looks like straightforward data-based question, but it is round 2 question for me. I will come back to it and do it later. Okay. I'll just reduce it a little so that I get some space to work. Yeah. This should be good enough. I hope it is visible also. So 81, 82, 83. 81 is doable most probably. 82 is doable most probably. I will know only on the basis of reading it. But 83 is a simple time and work question. I should be able to do it. Possibly a chain rule can be applied, but I will look at that in round 2. Okay. So 84 is where I will look at doing the question first. Okay. Okay. Simple calculation question. Under root of 225 by 729. 225 is 15 square. 729 is 27 square. Minus 25 by 144. 5 by... Yeah. I should... Okay. Okay, so this is coming back. This was 15 by 27 minus 5. Okay, minus 5 by 9. This is 5 by 9. This is 4 by 9. 4 by, I'm sorry, 5 by 12 divided by 4 by 9, or into 9 by 4. Okay. So can be solved simply. It should not be a problem as such for this particular question. Okay. So this is a question to be attempted in round 1. This is also round 1 question. Now in this question, my suggestion would be take x equal to 7 and y equal to 4 and solve this straight away. So this becomes 7 square is 49 minus 16 upon 7 square 49 plus 16. So when you have question like this, that the ratio is given, let x and y be 7:4. Had the question said let x upon y equal to 5 upon 2, I would have taken x and y as 5 and 2 itself. So substitute x equal to 7, x equal to 7, y equal to 4, and solve this question. Okay. Similarly, out this should not be a problem. Okay. Among the other questions out here, again a lengthy question, round 2, we'll come back to it later. Come back to it later. Come back to this again later. But out of these questions, I will be a little partial towards 83 and maybe to 89 also, because this again looks like short questions. The problem with these questions is huge amount of data will take time to read. So I will come back to that later. Okay. Okay. Now coming to these questions. Old lady, this is an old CAT question. Those of you who have done the CAT paper, this question is from one of the earlier CAT papers, has to be attempted. Okay. Old lady engaged in domestic help on the condition she would pay rupees 90 and the gift of service after 1 year. Okay. So the salary to be, he had to be given this much. For 9 months, he should be given this much. This should be equal to gift plus 65 rupees. You can solve the simple equation to get the answer. Okay. Question 91 again is this was a round 1 question, this again is a round 1 question. 4 prime numbers written in ascending order of magnitude. Product of the first 3 is 7429 and last 3 is 12673. In ascending order of magnitude. Okay. Find the first number. Okay. They are written in ascending order, so we just need to check the choices in this particular question. So if this is 17, the next should be 19, next should be 23, and the last one in this would be 27. Similarly out here 13, next will become 17, then 19, then 23. This one is 19, 23, 27, I'm sorry, this is 29. 23, 29 and 31. The product of first 3 numbers is 7429. The first 3 numbers product should end in 9. Let me check out. If I look at choice A, the product of first 3 numbers will end in 9 into 3 into 9. 9 into 9, 81 into 3, it ends in 3. Choice A is incorrect because it is ending in 3. This is my standard SQC question as far as I am concerned. Similarly, choice C, the unit digit of this question will end in 3 into 7 into 9. So 9 7 is 63, 63 into 3, 9. So this I will not eliminate at this point of time. But I will check for the others also. So similarly, if I look at the last 3 numbers, last 3 numbers have to end in 3. Okay. So again, 9 into 7, 6, 13, 17. Okay, so check out here again we have 3 to 7, 21. 21 into 9 is 9, 9 7 16. Okay, this will also end in 9. Okay. This will end in 9. So choice C is incorrect because it is ending in 9. Okay. So I'm left with choice B. Similarly, check out for choice B. Choice B again just to write down on separately 17, 19, 23, 29. These 3 will give me a product of ending in 9, 7, 3 into 3, 9, which matches with this. This will give me 9 into 3, 27, 7 into 9, 63, ends in 3. Okay. So your answer can be B, but there is a number of B's above also. So while A and C are definitely not the answer, the next task will be to multiply the numbers, the first 3 and the last 3 numbers, and get the answer. You don't have an option beyond this because of the choice called none of these. Okay. So this question has to be solved using your standard technique. Okay. Question 92. Rectangular piece. Now, this is the place where a mistake is committed. Okay. And this is a convention thing. So it is not a question of what I feel like. You just go by the convention. A cylinder is formed by rolling the paper along the length. When you say that it is rolled along the length, that means length is equal to height. This is the only thing you need to remember. So a rectangular piece of paper is 22 centimeters long. So this is nothing but the height of the cylinder and 10 centimeters wide. Okay. A cylinder is formed by rolling the paper along the length. If it is formed along the length, that means length is equal to height of the cylinder. Okay. And in this case, this 10 centimeter width, 10 centimeters becomes equal to circumference, which is 2 pi r. You can get r from here and find the answer of the remaining. Question wherever we are right, the prime numbers have to be in ascending order. They need not be, let me say, so they need not be consecutive. It is just that I checked out and I got the answer from there. Okay. Gagan, it is a question of convention. As per convention, in this case, when it is said, it is rolling the paper along the length, because this was a big debate which happened last year, and then we found out that as per convention, when it is said it is rolling along the length, you will have to take length equal to the height. So this is strictly by convention. We can take out other places also. Okay. Question 93. Find the value of x from the following equation. Okay. Okay. So, straight away, when you look at this particular question, you need to start. Okay, you have to solve this question. There's no doubt about it. Okay. But for those of you who are not comfortable with logs, my suggestion is you shouldn't be attempting this question at all. Okay. Yeah. Let me just clean this up. Okay. Coming back to this question, this is effectively log of 3 base 10 plus log of 4x plus 1 base 10. This is equal to log of x plus 1 base 10. Since everything is in terms of logs, I will take that. Or this is also plus 1. This plus 1 I can write it as log of 10 base 10. Okay. Now, which will convert into, which means on left hand side, because this is log A plus log B, the product is nothing but log A into B. So this is nothing but 3 into 4x plus 1 should be equal to 10 into x plus 1. Okay. You can solve it and you will get the answer. Okay. The only key thing out here in this question was, this is nothing but log of 10 base 10. And then you will get the answer. Yeah, Mother says, you're absolutely right. Quant is not the easiest section most of the time out here. Okay, okay, let me just go back. Okay. Okay, question number 94. Okay. Need not do the complete calculation in this particular question. You can get the answers on the basis of part calculation also. Okay. Consider the volumes of each of the objects and arrange them in descending order. Cube of height 4 centimeters is nothing but 64. Okay. Sphere of radius 3 centimeters is 4 by 3. 5 into r cube is 27. Okay. Again, so you need to just get that place part in working and get the answer from here. Parallelepiped is nothing but a cuboid. Okay. This is a cuboid. Okay. And cylinder of radius 3 and length 10. You know how to calculate the height, so it should not be a problem. Question 95 is something which you should be using SQT to get the answer. If x satisfies the inequality, then which of these is correct? For example, if I take x equal to 0, if I take x equal to 0, then this is 1 plus 2 plus 3, x equal to 0 satisfies this particular, x equal to 0 satisfies. So any choice which does not contain 0, it is going to be incorrect. X equal to 0 implies this expression is nothing but 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 6. 6 is greater than equal to 6. X equal to 0 is satisfying. X equal to 0 is here. It is in this. It is not here. So this choice number C is definitely incorrect. Okay. Similarly, let me look at this x equal to 4. If I put x equal to 4, this becomes 4 minus 1 is 3 plus 2 plus 1. Okay. This is also satisfying. Okay. We should not have checked it because x equal to 4 is there in both these choices in any case. Okay. Okay. So out of these choices, we have already eliminated this. We know x equal to 0 is satisfying. X equal to 4 we should not be taking. So check out for a number which is less than 4 or greater than 4. So if I take x equal to 3, x equal to 3 means this becomes 2 plus 1 plus 0. This becomes 3. X equal to 3 does not satisfy. So that means this choice is incorrect. Similarly out here, check out for a value of x greater than 4 and less than 0. If both of them satisfy, mark the answer as B. If even one of them does not satisfy, the answer is none of these. Are we 100% sure of the answer? No, most probably this is the correct answer. Okay. Last year there was no cutoff in sectional cutoff as far as we are aware. There was no sectional cutoff. The overall cutoff was about 45 or 46 marks. Uh, yes. Okay. Okay. We'll just come back to it. Uh, Okay. Question 96. A 5-digit number. I'm sure this can be solved by most of you, so it should not be a problem. 96, 97 should not be a problem. 98 should not be a problem again. Okay. Let me just go back. Okay. Okay. So when you're looking here, 97, 98 have been done. Question 96 again is a question which is straightforward. 5-digit number divisible by 3 form using numerals, total number of ways. Simple question of arithmetic is 97 of AP, and 98 is again a time and work question. Okay. Now the important thing again is in this paper is to see that which are the questions you are attempting. It is not about attempting all the questions, but attempting the shorter questions. And which is what I had mentioned, that these questions are the ones which have to be attempted definitely. Okay. The other question, okay, let's look at some of these lengthy questions which look difficult, but just to prove the point that these are not difficult questions, these are lengthy questions and these are being made to look difficult. Let me just go to some of these also. We can start from this itself. Okay, let's look at question 81. Okay, Mandeep and Jagdeep had gone to visit Rampur, which is a seaside town known for its sense of historical ruins of an ancient. They stayed in a hotel which is 250 meters from the railway station. And the hotel Mandeep and Jagdeep learned from a tourist information booklet that the distance between sea beach and the gate is exactly 1 kilometer. Next morning they visit the sea beach to witness the sunrise and afterwards decide to have a race from the beach to the gate of the ruins. Jagdeep defeated Mandeep in the race by 60 meters or 12 seconds. The following morning, they had another round of race from the railway station to the hotel. How long did Jagdeep take to cover the distance on the second day? It's a simple question of time, speed, distance, but the amount of reading effort which is given to us is stupid, and which is what makes this difficult. If I assume the speed of Jagdeep to be J, and let me assume the speed of Mandeep to be M, then the ratio of speed should be equal to the ratio of distance. Jagdeep defeated Mandeep in the race by 60 meters. That means when Jagdeep had done 1000 meters, Mandeep had done 940 meters. Okay. So that's the first thing which is given to us. Second, let me assume that the time taken by Jagdeep to do this 1 kilometer was x seconds. So the time taken by Mandeep would be x plus 12 seconds. Okay. Now again, ratio of speed is inversely proportional to ratio of time. That means this should be equal to x plus 12 upon x. So when you compare these two, you should be able to get the value of x. A simple way of doing this could even be 1000 upon 940 is nothing but 1000 can be written as 940 plus 60 upon 940. So I can write this as nothing but 1 plus 60 by 940 is equal to 1 plus 12 by x. Or in other words, you can say 60 by 940 is equal to 12 by x. Find the value of x from here. Okay. So x becomes equal to, so 60 by 940 or 6 by 94 is equal to 12 by x, or x should be equal to 6, and, sorry, this should 12 into 94 upon 6, which is equal to 188. So Jagdeep did the distance, so Jagdeep covered it in 188 seconds. But that is not the question. The question is, they take another round of race from railway station to the hotel. How long did Jagdeep take to cover the distance on the second day? On the second day, the distance is 250 meters. So it should be 188 by 4. Now, purely from a calculation perspective, this has some calculation. From an understanding, the degree of difficulty, there is not much. What is the problem in this question is the amount of stupid reasoning that you have to do to get the answer to the question. Similarly, when you look at the others, you will find they are going to be similar, not difficult to understand, but they are going to be time consuming. Let us look at a couple of more questions out here, and then we'll move on to the next one. Just a second, I'm not reading. Okay. Okay, we have 3 friends out here. Sujoy, Nitinjoy, and Parinjoy are 3 friends. So, okay, Sujoy, S, M, and P. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you have S, you have M, you have P. Who have worked in software firms, .Z Solutions, and I am on for respectively for decades. The friends decided to float a new software firm so and so. Certain compulsion, Mrityunjay and Sanjay were not able to immediately join the startup at the appointed time. It was decided between friends that Sujoy will be running the venture as a full-time director during 2010, and Mrityunjay and Sanjay will join in January 11. In order to compensate Sujoy for his efforts, it was decided he will receive 10% of the profits in the first year, will invest lesser amount as compared to his, and so on and so forth. So what is this? Nothing but a simple question of ratios or partnership. But what has it done? Given you such a long story to read and understand. And this is always the problem with IIFT, and why question is not difficult, it is lengthy to read. So we'll quickly go to the question. So Sujoy, Mrityunjay and Parinjoy. Sujoy invested 35,000 rupees, okay, for 12 months. So into 12. Mrityunjay invested 130,000 rupees, so 130 into for 6 months. And Parinjoy invested 75,000 for 8 months. So into 75 into 8. So 75 into 8, this becomes 460, 420. 13 into 6 is 780. And 75 into 8 is 300. Okay. So there's nothing but 1800. Okay. If the total profit earned was 4,50,000, what was Parinjoy's share? Total profit is 4,50,000. Is 4,50,000. Out of which 10% will go to Sujoy as his salary. So minus 10%, which is 45,000 gone, and 4,05,000 is what is left. Share of Parinjoy into that is into sorry, this was 600. This is 600 by 1800. A simple calculation made difficult purely by the amount of work which you are made to do to read the question. Similarly, out here, when we look at the next question, since this is again a question which is not difficult and can be solved. So let me just throw it open to you First, I want you to tell me which of the questions from 82 to 89 you want me to solve. Let me not do all the questions. 82 to 89, which are the questions which you want solved? If you could just write down any questions from 82 to 89. We have already done 81, 82 actually. So 83 to 89. Okay, so 83 is there. I will keep noting down on the space of paper with me. 83, 86. Okay, 83 and 86. So let me just start with these two questions. There's 87 also. Okay, 83, 86, 87. Let's look at these three questions quickly. And then we'll move on to the next set of questions. Okay. Rahul, the way of choosing the question is purely the length. Among the lengthy questions, for example, I can see this is a time and work question. This is a question which I would like to attend in the paper. Okay. Very quickly, we'll move on to this question. In Bilaspur village, 12 men and 18 boys complete construction of primary health center in 60 days. 12 men, 18 boys together, working 7.5 hours a day. Subsequent will also decide to construct a primary health center in the locality twice the size. So the size has become double. If a man is able to perform work equal to done by 2 boys, how many boys will be required to help 21 men? Since we need to find how many boys, I will work everything around the number of boys. 1 man is equal to 2 boys. This question tells me 1 man is equal to 2 boys. So when we have, okay, so as per the question, 1 man is equal to 2 boys. So these 12 men are nothing but 24 boys. So initially they are 24 plus 18, 42 boys working. So in a way the question becomes 42 boys. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully this will work this time. So 42 boys working 60 days. 42 boys, this is 12. Mine was 24 boys. So I've just taken this to be 24 plus 18, 42 boys working 60 days, 7.5 hours per day, can finish a piece of work. Okay. If the work is doubled, okay, how many boys will be required? How many boys will be required to finish a piece of work in 50 days? So now the number of days has become 50. The number of hours per day, there is a change or not a change? Working 9 hours a day. Okay, so 9 hours, and we need to find the number of boys. So applying chain rule, x should be equal to 42 into initially the number of initially there were 60 days. Now we have to finish the work in 50 days. So the number of boys should go up to 60 by 50. Initially you had 7.5 hours per day. Now you have 9 hours per day. So the number of people required should go down. So it should be 7.5 upon 9. And initially you are doing 1 unit of work. Now the amount of work has doubled. So into 2. Okay. So this will give us the total number of boys required. We already have 21 men is nothing but 42 boys. So already 42 boys are working. What is the additional number of boys is what we need to look at. So we can just start cancelling out. This is gone. Okay. So 32 is a 60, 33 is a 25 2 is a 25 3 is a. So 42 into 2, 84. So total 84 boys are required. These 21 men are equal to 42 boys. So the answer has to be additional 42 boys are required. So I hope this is clear. Not a difficult question, and most of in fact, the lengthy questions in IIFT are easy questions, but it takes time to read. Okay. So the next question we have is question 86. Okay. Question 86. We will need to make equation in this. While preparing for question 86 is what we are doing now. Government attempted to solve 3 papers, namely math, verbal English, logical analysis. Each of will have full marks of 100. 1/3 of the marks obtained by government in logic analysis is greater than half the marks obtained in verbal English by 5. He has obtained a total of 210 marks in the examination and 70 marks in mathematics. What is the difference in marks of mathematics and verbal English? Okay, so let me assume out here, you have got 3 areas: logical analysis, okay, logical analysis, verbal English, and mathematics. In mathematics, he's got 70 marks. Total marks is 210. Let me assume the logical analysis marks are equal to X, okay, and this is equal to Y. Now you can start making the equations now if you want to. Okay. The first equation obviously which you will make is that X plus Y is equal to 140, because total mass is 210, mass is 70, so sum of this is 140. Then it is given out here, 1/3 of the marks, 1/3 of the marks in logical analysis, 1/3 of the marks, so X by 3 is greater than half his marks obtained in verbal English by 5. Greater than half the marks in verbal English, by 5. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry this got, but let me just write down the equation. So there X plus Y equal to 140. Then the second equation which we had just made was that X by 3, it is observed 1/3 of the marks in logical analysis, X by 3 is greater than half his marks in verbal English, minus half his mark in verbal English, Y by 5, Y by 2, by 5. Okay. Now 2 equations, 2 variables that can be solved. So you just need to solve this equation, you get X and Y and you get the answer. Okay. So a straightforward question, again, but lengthy to read and trying to make our life difficult. Okay. Question 87. Let me go to question 87. Okay. 2 colleagues working, each of them earned investable surplus of rupees 1,50,000 during the certain period. Animesh is a risk-averse person. Aniket prefers to go for higher, okay, go for higher return opportunities. Animesh, okay, Animesh uses his entire savings in PPF and NST. So he's done only PPF plus NST. Okay. It is observed that 1/3 of the savings made by Animesh in PPF is equal to half the savings in NST. So PPF by 3 is equal to half a savings in NST, is equal to NST by 2. Okay. Or rather, if you want to say X by 3 is equal to Y by 2, or X is equal to 3 by 2 Y. Since the total amount is 1,50,000, that means this should be this could be something like if X is equal to if Y is 1 lakh, no, it should be 90 and 60 if I am correct out here. Okay. So either way, since you know X plus Y is equal to 150 and X is equal to 1.5Y, so you replace this with 2.5Y, you will get the values of X and Y. So you get the investment by him out here. Similarly, Aniket, you can find the distance and you can get the answer. Again, all I'm trying to say is I'm not solving this completely because half it we solve, balance you can solve yourself. It's just a question of writing down the equation. But the issue is if you start doing these questions, they take a large amount of time. Which is why I said earlier the questions to be attempted are those shorter questions first and then the lengthier questions. So let me see if there were any other question on that. Okay. Any SQC for question 84? Let me see what that question 84 was. No, 84 you have to solve, and I don't think that's a difficult calculation actually, question 84. Let me just quickly do the calculation also for those of you who have a problem. 15 by 225 is 15 squared, 20, it is 15 by, yeah, I don't know what the problem is. Okay, just do the calculation. 225 by 229 by 225 is 15 square. 729 is 27 square. 25 you know is 5 square. This is 12 square. 4 and 9. So this is not a difficult calculation per se, so it shouldn't be an issue as such. Question 88 and 89, I will again request you to do it yourself. Nothing difficult about these questions. Yeah, thank you, Rohit. Okay. Okay. Questions, any question from 90 to 95 you want me to look at? Okay, 90, we have done these questions actually, so I can skip these. Okay, 96 to 100. 96 to 100, any question which needs to be attempted? If there's a doubt in any of these questions. Okay, there's only 99 which has come out. Okay. Okay. Okay, 99 and 100. I hope the annotation keeps working because there seems to be some problem of compatibility with my computer screen. So this is the second time it is happening. Okay, 99. A bag contains 8 red, 6 blue balls. 5 balls are drawn at random. What is the probability of 3 of them are red and 2 are blue? Okay, the total balls are 8 and 6, 14. So my denominator in any case needs to be 14 C, and we have to pull out 5 balls. So 14 C5. Okay. 8 red, 6 5 blue. That means a total of 14 balls. Out of these 14 balls, in how many ways can we choose 5 balls? It is 14 C5. So the denominator has to be 14 C5. We want to find the probability that 3 of them are red. The probability of pulling out 3 red balls is 8 C3. Out of the 8 red balls, you can pull out 3 red balls in so many ways. And similarly, out of the 6 blue balls, you need to pull out 2 blue balls, so 62. So this calculation you'll have to do. Yes, thank you, Rohit. 8C3 plus 62 upon 14C5 is the calculation you need to do in this particular question. Okay. Let me look at the next question. 9900 also somewhere there. Let me see if I can draw a proper figure or not. I'll try my best, but yes, acceptable. In a circle, the height of the arc is 21 centimeters. In this question, the problem which typically happens is people are not sure what do you mean by the height of the arc. Okay. So if this is a chord, this is the height of the arc. Okay. So this is the maximum distance between the chord and the circumference of the circle. You can say is the height of the arc. Okay. Okay. So this is the height of the arc. This is given to us in the question as 21 centimeters. Okay. The diameter is for 84 centimeters or the radius is 42 centimeters. So this is 42 centimeters, the radius. Or this is the 42 centimeters. So this is 21 centimeters because this radius is 42 centimeters. Height is 21, so this again is 21. Okay. Find the chord of half the arc. Half the arc is, this was the complete arc, so half the arc is this. So if I am looking for half the arc, this is the half the arc. Okay. So this is the length we need to know. Now since this is 42 and this is 42, that means these two angles are equal. Okay. So if I can find this angle, it will make my life easier. Now let me draw only this part. Okay. Now when we look at the let Let me just, okay, great. Now when I'm looking at this one, this particular portion, this is nothing but, this is 21, this is 42, and this is a half the length of the arc. Now this is 90 degrees. So you can find this also. But an easier way would be, if you remember that we had discussed that in SQC session, we had discussed that in a 30, 60, 90 triangle, right triangle, if this is 1, this will be 2 and this will be root 3. In a 45, 90 right triangle, the ratio of sides is 1 is to 1 is to root 2. So you can straight away apply that concept out here and find the third side also. Okay. So in this particular question, this is the height of the arc, assuming this to be the center. This is 42. Okay. This is 21, this is 21, so this is also 42, and we need to find the length of this particular line, this particular chord. Okay. So you'll find that this is also, this is 90. So this ratio of these two sides is 1 is to 2, and this is so this angle this should be 3. And remember that in a right triangle, in a 30, 60, 90 right triangle, the ratio of these sides is 1 is to root 3 is to 2, where the side opposite the 30-degree angle is the shorter side, so this should be a 30-degree angle, or in other words, this should be a 60-degree angle. So this is 60, these two angles are equal, which means this is nothing but a equilateral triangle, or this particular length should also be equal to 42 centimeters. Okay, which I don't think there was any other question on this, so I will go to the next one. Okay. Just because someone said which are the questions to be attempted, I will say the questions to be attempted in this paper are, 81 is not to be attempted, 82 is not to be attempted, 83 to be attempted in round 2. I am not writing it on the screen, so because it's in, either I can annotate or I can solve. So right now I'm just solving. So you can keep noting it down for yourself. I will not attempt 81. Lengthy question to read. 82, very lengthy to read. 83, I can see it is a question of time and work. Chain rule can be applied. I will come back to it later. 84, definite attempt. 85, definite attempt. 86, if it could be complicated. 87, again, a huge amount of reading to be done. Avoid. 88, again, come back to it later because the length of the question is less, so I may be able to do it faster. So 81 and 88 I may come back to them later, but others I will not. 84, 85, definite attempt. 89, I know I can solve this question using making an equation. To be attempted 89. 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. All of these are definite attempts. 99, 100. Okay. Or in other words, questions from 89 to 100, 12 questions. 84, 85, another 2 questions, which makes it 14 questions. Okay. Then, and 104, 15 questions. These 15 are the questions which I will target doing. If I am able to do them in something like 20 to 20 minutes or so, or because I plan to give only 25 minutes, if I have time, then I look at questions 103, and 18 to 15 questions can be looked at. Otherwise, anyone doing more than that is going to be wasting a huge amount of time. Okay, let us quickly go to the reasoning part, and then we'll spend some time on data interpretation. Okay. Again, reasoning, if you remember that in my blog and otherwise also I maintained that there is a section where you need to also look at maximizing your scores. This is a place where we look at maximizing the scores. Questions 1 to 3, and again I will look at doing the shorter questions first and then go back to it later. Questions 1 to 3 have an amount of data, and these are typically what are called the eligibility criteria. Certain criteria have been given, and using those criteria you have to take a decision on the situation which is given. Straight away it means large amount of reading effort. Look at it only in round 2. 4, 5 syllogisms or logical consistency, whatever, or deductive logic to be attempted. Okay. To be attempted by anyone who's comfortable with this. If not comfortable, then to be left immediately. 6, 7 and 8, 7 and 6 and 7 have to be attempted, and in fact 10, 11 have to be attempted. So I will start actually this paper by doing questions 10 and 11 first, and my way of working with these questions is essentially to write down the logic straight away, or just to rewrite the equation using the standard notation. Okay. So I'll rewrite the equation using the standard notation. Okay. So for example, out here it says 3. Okay. Given that 3m, so 3m percentage means equal to 3m is equal to 2m. 2m. That means m upon n is equal to 2 by 3 or whatever you want to say, or n is equal to, or you can say n is equal to 3 by 2 m. Okay. So this is the equation. We have now start checking. Okay. We can't say anything about O. Okay. In this particular question. Okay. In this particular question, we can't say anything. I'm sorry, I missed this part. Okay. And n is equal, n, this says n equal to CO. Okay. So we have a relation between m, n and O out here, and that is what I'll check. I'll check each of the choices and see which one satisfies. Otherwise, I'll leave and get the answer from here. Now, which also means you can look at this as, if I just put the relationship in a different way, m upon n is equal to 2 by 3. Similarly, out here, n is equal to 3O. So if I take m is equal to 2, n equal to 3, O should be equal to, n is equal to 3O, so O should be equal to 1. So now I have got these values. I will substitute it here and get the answer from this thing. See, n percentage equal to, okay, great. Okay. So these are questions which have to be attempted typically. Coming to the other question. Okay. Let me just look at question 6 and 7, because these are questions which normally create problems for many students. So question 6 and 7, but they are easy, and my suggestion is these should be attempted. Question 6 and 7, these kinds of questions are easy, but you definitely need to find a connection. Okay. Okay. So 2 questions. Now we go to choices to go to the question, the statements one by one. Okay. Okay. Look at statement 1 and statement 2. Traders are above loss. Developers were above profitable. Between these two, there's only one word which is common, above. Okay. Now, so it means even in these two, we need to look at what is common. LOP is not here. EOP is not here. AOP is not here. FOP is here. That means above is equal to FOP. Okay. So the task out here is to compare statement, identify the common word in the out here, and find the common code out here. Okay. Similarly, when you look at statement 2 and statement 3, developers were above profitable, developers stopped following traders. The only word which is common is developers. Okay. So FOP, since it is gone, let me just eliminate FOP so that I don't waste my time on this, and above is also gone. Okay. So between these two, the word common should be developers. COP is not here. BOP is here. Okay. So that means BOP should be developers. Okay. So cutting out developers from here, BOP from here. Okay. Stop for world, the word world. Okay. The word world is available in statement 2 and statement 4. So your task in these questions is essentially to find out the which word corresponds to which code by elimination and then come to the answer. Don't worry about the sequence. So just get those combination first and that should be the answer. Okay. Okay. Coming to questions 8 and 9. Now these are the questions which are possibly meant not to be attempted. These should be left by and large. Because most of the time these questions have to be done by substituting the choices. A pattern identification is difficult, so what you do is you substitute the choices out here. For example, if I say this is the correct choice, you should be writing E out here, E, F, F, D, E, D. And then see whether there is a pattern involved or not. So effectively every question you will need to put choices 2 to 3 times to find out if there is a pattern existing or not. And hence these are going to be time consuming, and this is one set of questions in the paper which I would believe should not be attempted at all. Dipakshi, what was the question? Where is Dipakshi? Okay. Okay, so I'll come back to Dipakshi's question separately. Okay. Okay, so next thing is, so I'm not attempting question 8 or 9, but I hope you'll be able to attempt question 6 and 7. These are worth attempting, especially if there are 2 to 3 questions. If the same thing had only one question, it might be worth leaving. 8 and 9 type of questions typically have to be not attempted. Okay, okay now, okay. 10, 11 we have already said. Okay, question 12 and 13, they are similar to critical reasoning, statement and conclusion kind of questions. Course of action rather. School dropout rate is high in rural areas as children support their parents in income earning activities. Which of these 3 course of action should be followed? Public awareness program on primary education should be expanded immediately to educate parents. Statement 2, compensation should be given to parents whose children are in school. Statement 3, law on universal education and ban on child labor should be made rigorous. Now looking at this particular thing, you need to then first connect it to what is the given out here. Anything which is not supported by data or cannot flow out of this statement should not be done. What it is saying is, school dropout rate is high in rural areas as children support their parents in income earning activities. Why is school dropout rate high? Because children are supporting parents in income generating activities. Hence it means it should be looked up, your course of action should try to address this issue. The income of the, so statement 2 is definitely on. Compensation should be given to parents whose children are in school, because then they will not be pulled out to generate income. Statement 1, public awareness programs on primary education should be expanded. Public awareness, is it an issue of public awareness? There's nothing in the data here which suggests it's an issue of public awareness, so it should not be looked at, so we can ignore this one completely. Statement 3, law on universal education and ban on child labor should be made rigorous. The ban on child labor should be made rigorous so that children don't have to earn. So statement 3 is also fine. So the correct answer is statement 2 and 3. In this question, it is a very common feature that people mark statement 1 also as right and give the answers all follow. But remember, public awareness is not an issue which has been talked about in the statement. The reason given is this, so we need to go by this reason, not by anything else. Let me look at the next question also in this particular of this particular type. Statement: in recent meteorological department has forecast severe drought in the next cropping season, which may cause failure of crops. So a drought has been forecast, which can lead to failure of crops. What should we be doing? Forecast should be made widely published in the media. Drought relief scheme should be ready for relief work. People should be advised to go for drought resistant variety. So 2 and 3 definitely follow. 2 and 3 definitely follow. Drought relief team should be ready for relief work, because when you know there's a drought which is going to happen, you should be ready for it. And because drought is likely to happen, you should go for drought resistant variety. This should not be done. This should not be done. The reason is because this will lead to panic. So one logic which will normally comes from many students is, but this should be publicized. But if you publicize, this can lead to panic, and this can also lead to price rise. So you have to look at what are you going to do and what will be the impact of that. The impact of that is going to be a negative impact, so it should not be done. But people should be advised to go for drought resistant variety, and you should be ready for any drought effort, so that you don't take too much time. Okay. Now 14 to 14, 15 is again an arrangement question. I don't think this will be an issue. 17, 16, 17 and 20, 21. Now, however, these are not the questions to be attempted first, because these are the places where you can possibly end up making, where there might be a multiple cases, and you might have to then eliminate cases, and which will be time consuming. But again, questions like 18, 19 have to be done straight away. Don't worry about anything. Just make sure you start working with the choices. In the word examination is coded as 561. Now typically these are nothing but alphabet converted into numbers. Okay. So A, B, C, D, E is the fifth letter, which is why it is given 5. X is, okay. So you first need to convert this into what the code stands for. You convert each alphabet into what it is it stands for, and then start converting each one of them. So out here, E is written as 5, X is written as 6. Okay. Hold on. This will be slightly better, hopefully, out here. Okay. In this, E is 5. Yeah. This is 5. Let me try the next question. There is some issue out here. Okay. In a certain code language, horse is written as 7. A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D. Okay, let me just say. Horse is 7. Okay. O, okay. Horse is 7. A is A is 1, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. H is the 8th alphabet. For that, it has written 7. That means the number of alphabet minus 1. The serial number of the alphabet minus 1 is the code out here. O is 14. O is which alphabet? A, B, C. Okay. O is the 15th, so which is coming out 14, so it is minus 1. So O is written as 14. So out here you have 7, H, O, then you have R again out here, S, again E. Okay. E is 4. So alphabet serial number minus 1 is the code out here. So come to the question again out here. Monkey, Y is the 26th alphabet, 25th alphabet, so Y should be coded as 24. Similarly, E is in any case we know is coded as 4. So the last 3 digits have to be 4 to 4. 4 to 4 is fine, 4 to 4 is fine, 4 to 5 is wrong, 3 to 5 is wrong. Okay. So now again here I will look at what is the difference and work out there. Okay. M, we know O is 14 out here. This was given 14. So O should be 14. So the correct answer is this. Because both these choices B and D, they have a 12 out here, which is the code for M. And we know O is 14, this one is 14, this one is 15. So this becomes the correct answer. Okay. Similarly out here, 5, 6, 1, M is 4. I don't know what is being done for these letters, but E is definitely 5. A is definitely 1. So I'll start by saying E is fine. Where is E5? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth should be 5, 5, 4, 4. B and D are incorrect because here E is being given as 4 when it should be 5. Okay. Similarly, you can check out for the other one, so the other E. The other E is 5 out here. This is third from the left. This 5 is fine. This is 4, so this is incorrect. So the correct answer is A. So question like this, identify one alphabet, more, move on to the question and get the answer. Okay. And keep eliminating choices. Okay. So just to repeat question, first question 10, 11, 6, 7, 12, 13, 8 and 9 not to be attempted. Not to be attempted. Okay. Syllogisms is the other thing which you should be attempting. Okay. Eligibility criteria, you should be attempting, but be careful. You cannot afford to miss even a single condition out of in this section. In the eligibility criteria question. And after you have done most of the questions, then you come back and look at these. These are usually not difficult, but sometimes you'll find these arrangement questions, they have multiple cases or the logic is not very clear and there's some ambiguity, hence it has to be left. Okay. Quickly moving on to reading into DI now. Okay. Let's quickly go to the data first. Bar chart, numbers are given everywhere, so it shouldn't be an issue. Okay. Okay, we need to remember the choices are likely to be closed. Look at the choices out here. And then you have a none of these also. Okay. So while we should be ready for calculation when you do DI, out here your target should be to do only one set of data, and then we can move on where we three sets of data. We do one set of data, maybe if you have too much time at hand, maybe two sets of data, but nothing more than that. I would be happy with the one set of data, or 5 to 7 questions should be good enough. This again has a huge amount of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 different columns. Okay. And look at these choices again, how close they are. Okay. We have none of these also, so you have to make sure you work. Similarly, question 115 to 20, large amount of data. Type of question, mark the false statement. You have to again go through multiple questions, not my first question as far as I am concerned. Okay. So let me just take a few questions from here to see how we can get the answers. Okay. Question 105. Okay. Is it on? Okay. Question 105. This question is on compounded annual growth rate. What is the CAGR of country X overall outward investment during the period? Okay, I don't think we discussed the data first. Okay. Which report countries excess outward investment flow to various countries in the world. Okay. So what it says is for some of the countries is given, and then it says what is the total outward for the world. That means this is the total amount of investment which flows out of this country excess. Okay. The first question. What is the compounded average growth rate of country excess overall investment during the period 2011 to January to May 2011? So January is 3075, this is 3701. So mathematically, if you have to do it, this will be 3701 upon 3075. Since we need to find compounded annual growth rate, since you need to find compounded annual growth rate, we will do 3701 upon 3075 raised to power 1 by 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4 periods minus 1 into 100. Okay. Now this obviously is difficult. So your task again remember is when instead of compounded annual growth rate, please find simple annual growth rate. And remember your compounded annual growth rate will always be less than the simple annual growth rate. So my task here is essentially to find what is the simple growth rate. The simple annual growth rate is from 3075. This has gone up to 3701, or an increase of 700 minus 76, 25, 626. It has increased by 626 divided by on a base of 3075, which is equal to 20% of 307 is 615. So this is just over 20%. Okay. This is approximately 20% or slightly more than 20%. Okay. So my over 4 periods it has shown my simple annual growth rate will be equal to 20 by 4, which is equal to 5%. Okay. So that means this is wrong, this is wrong. My answer is either B or D. Okay. Okay. So is my answer B or D? I will check out with the choices. Now 3.5%, 4 successive increments of 3.5%, will they add up to 20% if they do? Because this is nothing but, if the compounded annual growth rate is 3.5%, that means 1.035 raised to power 4 should be equal to 1.2. Okay? Or in other words, this is nothing but 3 successive increments of 3.5%. A plus B plus AB by 100, 7 plus another 1, 1.5, say about 8.5. And this is also 8.5. AB plus A by 100, 17 plus another 8 into 64, 70.7. Okay. This is about 18. So this is about 18. So this is incorrect. This should be the correct answer. Okay. So when you have a question of compounded annual growth rate, your task is not to calculate the compounded annual growth rate, but to calculate the simple annual growth rate. Yeah, and then use the choices and eliminate to get the correct answer. Okay. Similarly, when you look at the next question, in which month country excesses over outward investment to Singapore dropped most, and what is the month-on-month growth in that period? You don't have an option but to go through the choices again. Yeah. Okay, you did not get the last step in the previous question. I said these two choices we had eliminated in any case. Choice A and C are incorrect choices. So the answer is either 3.5% or 4. So if the CAGR is equal to 3.5%, that means 3 successive increments of 3.5% should be equal to a single increment of 20%. Okay. That is what we have to. Now if I do 2 successive increments of 3.5%, A plus B plus AB by 100 is the formula I will apply. 7 plus 35 square is 12.25, so 1.2, so 8.25% roughly. Similarly, these two will be 8.25%. These two become A plus B is again 16.5, 8.5, 8 square is 64, this is upon 100, so 0.64, 0.7. This is equal to 17.2%. So if the CAGR is 3.5%, then in 4 years you will get a total increment of 17.2%, while we need an increment of 20%. Hence, this is also incorrect and this becomes the correct answer. I hope it has cleared the doubt for you. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the next question now. In which month the investment dropped the most? And what is the month-and-month growth in that period? In which month for Singapore it dropped the most? Singapore is this one, so this is Singapore. From here to here it has increased, so I'll not worry. From 12:11 to 7:41 it has gone down. So 12:11 to 7:41. This is in the month of March. And then from March to April, it has gone down from 741 to 378. So this is March, this is February, this is March to April again there's a decline. And April to May it has increased, so we will not worry about this part at all. Okay. So we just need to see which of these is a bigger decline. Okay. So the way you can look at this is, You can look at the gap if you want. The gap out here becomes 411 and 60. 460, 471. 460 is the gap out here. And this is a decline of 460 upon 1211, while this is a decline of 441, 51, 61, 463. 463 upon, 363, I'm sorry, 363 upon 741. Okay. So while this is a decline of 363 on the base of 741, this is a decline of 460 on the base of 1211. So this is for March and April. Okay. So let us see which one should be the case. Okay. So 460 upon, this is 10% is 121. 40% will be 480. So this is less than 40%. All I'm doing out here, I'm saying 10% is equal to 121. 40% should be equal to 484. Since the number here is 460, that means this ratio is less than 40%. Okay. What is this ratio? Again, by the same logic, 741 is 100%, so or I can do it in a slightly different way. 50% will be equal to 370. So 49% should be equal to 370 minus 7. So this is nothing but 49%. So here it is a 49% decline. Okay. And here it's a 49% decline. April is the month. So April has a bigger decline as compared to March. So this cannot be the answer. And this is incorrect because this is 39%, this is 49%, so this becomes the answer. Okay. So whether we like it or not, we need to remember this paper will have tedious calculations, and you'll have to go through those calculations in this paper. Okay. Similarly, you can look at the other questions also, and each one of them will need some amount of calculation. Just to show you the calculation part for this, what is the share of country action outward investment in US and UK in February 2011 of its total investment in the world? Now, in this particular question, okay, in question 107, the calculation which you need to do is 233, and just focusing on the calculation now. Upon C221, we need to find what is this percentage equal to. Okay. And you have these choices. Look at the choices. Correct up to second place of decimal is what you need to get. Okay. So the way, again, some of you may be aware of that, I will always look at converting this to a 10% kind of a thing. Again, okay. So 10% of C221 is equal to 322. So 5% is equal to 161. So I can say this number is nothing but 5%. Okay. So it is 233 upon 3221. We need to find what percentage is it. So we said 5% is equal to 10%, was equal to 322. 5% is equal to 161. So this number is nothing but 5%. Yeah. I will make one last attempt at this question, otherwise we'll move on to the next one. But 233 upon 3221, this is nothing but 5%. Remember, 5% I was saying is 161. So 100% is 3221, 10% becomes 322, 5% 161. So so what is the balance out here? 233 minus 161 is the balance. So 67 plus 33 plus 41. 73, 72 plus 72 upon 3221. Okay. Again 10%, 1%, 1% is 32, and this will be about 72 into 4. Okay, actually this is about 1/4. 72 into 4 is equal to 328. So I can say this is just about 1/4. So I can say the correct answer should be 7.24%. Yeah, you can look at the others also similarly. At the end of the day, you will not have an option but to do the calculation. You have to do some of them, and some of them you will end up leaving. For example, question 108 might not be worth attempting at all. But saying total outward investment in Singapore and UAE, highest level and with value, which means you need to see Singapore plus UAE for all the 5 months divided by this figure. So Singapore plus UAE out here will become 273 plus 86 divided by 3075. Out here 277 plus 1561 3221. This is obviously higher than the previous one, and sorry, this is 120 and so on. Okay. So you need to do this checking and you will end up leaving a few questions. Similarly, when you go out to this data, you will find here the choices are much more closer and maybe it is not worth attempting at all. Okay. And the last one is then you'll have to look at. So the task out here in data interpretation is essentially that you go through all the sets of data, identify the questions which you, the set of data which you feel comfortable in and in which the choices are not close, attempt that and leave the rest. Okay. So I'll stop the session here. Let me stop sharing for a minute. And let me go, yes. Am I able to compare? Okay. Okay, so I'm just stopping the session here, and let me see if it is coming or not again now. Okay, yeah. Okay. No, I'm not able. This will again have its own problems, so I will stop this one and not share the desktop. Okay, so just to close the session, please remember your task in this paper, your task in each of the section. Let me just quickly go through what we had done. It is one. Step one is scan the paper in the first 10 minutes. Okay. While scanning the paper, you have to look at how many questions are there in each section and in which order would you like to attend the paper. By and large, your order should be clear. You are just doing the final confirmation. Allocate time to each of the sections based on your comfort level and as well as the question. And then start working with it. In GK, it's yes or no, which means attempt or just leave it. Match the following. Definitely to be attempted, or definitely you have to read it. Eliminate choices by even one match if you have. Okay. Then EU, leave the lengthy questions. Leave things like para completion, para jumble, and so on. Your focus has to be on vocab-based questions. Do them first. If you have time, come back here later. My session is 10 minutes out here, 10 minutes out here. You can obviously work out your own schedule separately. Reading comprehension, identify one passage to attempt. Okay. If it is 10 minutes, one passage. If you want to get 15 minutes, you can look at two passages. Okay. Two passages. So 1 to 2 passages, maximum of 15 minutes is what you should be looking at. After that, I would move to reasoning. You can move to whichever you want. Reasoning. Focus again is on shorter questions. Okay. Coding, decoding, eligibility criteria, arrangement in the end. This is the section where I'll give about 30 minutes. QA, again, lengthy, not to be attempted, short questions to be attempted. Here, out of 20 questions, if you do 13 to 15 questions, you have a great job. If you're able to go up to 17, it is an excellent attempt. Reasoning, again, if you do something like 15 odd questions, 15 to 17 is good. The target between these two is to have about 30 attempts. 30 marks from 30 attempts is required out of reasoning and this. Data interpretation, similar to RC, identify one set, attempt it and move on. And again, this is about 15 minutes. Okay. So that's what you're supposed to do. Please go through the paper all over again. Attempt the questions which we have not done, which are quite a large number. Go through the solutions given at the back. Focus on identifying what you need to learn with this is identifying the right question is more important than attempting the question. You attempt only after identifying, and which is why these first 10 minutes of scanning the papers and choosing the question while attempting the paper are extremely important. I hope this session has been of help to you. Let's see what else can we do out here. Okay? Thank you very much for being patient with me. Have a great Diwali. See you soon. Thank you very much. Knows the IIFT does not say clearly whether there's a sectional cutoff or not, which is why you should not leave any section unanswered. So if they decide to put a sectional cutoff this year, you will be doomed then. And which is why I will suggest in every section attempt at least 3, 4, 5 questions, because when the overall paper cutoff is around 40, 45 marks, 40, 42 marks actually, because last year 4 marks were given for incorrect answers. There's no point in even the sectional cutoffs will be very low. Okay. So just make sure in every section you attempt something like 35 to 40% of the questions, and then you'll be very safe. The section which you need to maximize are actually quant and reasoning. Between the two, you should target doing about 30.